Well, well, well. You know my motto already. I don't make believe, I make believe was family. I'm your gracious host, Drummer Boy 1980, hailing from the Carolinas, Columbia, South Carolina to be exact. Hope you're having a good day today. If not, you know the old adage, ask yourself why. And remember this, happiness is an inside job and it will always be. And in turning with farewell, guys, we back with a barn burner. Ooh, this here has set the internet on fire, ablaze, if you will. I have been sitting back in the cloud, watching other content creators, seeing exactly what they was talking about pertaining to this situation. And I think a lot of them are, quite frankly, off, 100% off. And I'm gonna show you why. Before you leave this video, I guarantee you that you will be convinced, because I'm gonna bring all the receipts. All right, I'm gonna call your attention to the screen, guys. All right, this is Derrick Jaxn wife, Naia, a very interesting character, to say the least. All right, let's go.
And so y'all were in college together. You were 19. Are y'all around the same age?
Yes, he was 19 as well. He's 5 months older than me.
5 months older than you. Y'all both 19. Y'all both in college. And when did it change from dating to engagement? How long did that take?
9 years.
9 years.
Yes, we got married 9 years later.
9 years later.
So it's a long time.
That's a long time. But it makes sense when you start off at 19.
Yes.
You know, it's like, so you got married around 28.
Yes.
About 28. Yes, that's how old I was when I got married. So you're 28 years old, and y'all were in a committed relationship. Were there any infidelity or cheating during that 9 years?
I can't really say commitment is a big word. So let's tone that down a little bit. Commitment is a big word.
I got to tone the word commitment down.
We do.
Y'all was in a relationship.
We got to tone it all the way down.
Okay, we're going to tone it down to Naia. What we're going to call it?
So we're going to call it a situationship.
Y'all was in a situationship.
We was in a situationship for a long time.
So y'all never, when after 3 days in love, y'all didn't say, let's make it official?
We were technically official, but there was a lot of on and offs agains, right, in that. So that's why I say when we talk about commitment, we got to tone it all the way down. We got to go back to the elementary level of the word and start at the beginning.
Yeah, start at the beginning. Okay.
And yes, there was commitment at times. At times, but there was a lot of on and off again. Okay, and through college and even after college, lots of on and off again. And so leading up to our marriage, we were actually off, right? We were actually off. We were living in North Carolina at the time. 2015, going into 2016, late 2016, we went our separate ways because there was other people involved, and there had already been other people involved, even in college, right? And so
be specific. Other people, what you mean?
Other women. There was.
Did you ever have other guys that you were dating?
In college, there was a guy, Fabian, who I was talking to.
You didn't say the man's name. You didn't say the man's name. Fabian, mind his own business. He's watching the Dear Future White podcast. Doggone.
Hold up. So, what I'm hearing is this here didn't come out the blue. He was like this in college. You still feeling sorry for him? I'm going to post a full video link in the description box down below so you can go watch the full interview. But what I'm hearing here is Derrick Jaxn was like this the whole entire time. So she knew what she was getting herself into prior to getting with him, prior to marrying him already. Hold up, because it's about to get better, okay? So she knew. Very interesting, right?
He's not. He is no longer with us, unfortunately.
Okay. God rest his soul.
Yes, and so in college there was that, but it wasn't necessarily a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. I actually had used him to I used him to set Derrick up because I was tired of him being with all these girls and catching him and going through his phone and watching him do all of his stuff with these girls. And I was working with this guy, and I was like, listen, I need you to help me to get him back. And I want to set this up we're going to make it look like we're, this great couple. Like I'm cheating over here and all this. So he helped me. He was, he did like, let's meet up at this place. And, I knew Derrick would find out about it, and I wanted him to, because I wanted him to pay.
You wanted him to be jealous?
I wanted him to. Like, I've sat there and watched, literally looked through his phone and watched him have sex with other girls.
On the phone?
On the phone. Like, I literally watched it. And
hold up. You still feeling sorry for her? Now, granted, she wasn't married to him as of yet. This here was in college. Now, I do have a soft spot for her. Not for the reasons that you probably thinking. Because early on in the interview, guys, she was explaining how she was violated at the age of 19. She was violated. Now, I do have a soft spot for that. But everything after that, I don't feel a thing. Simply because the world don't owe you no understanding. Now, I can empathize with her. I can sympathize with her. But it was her job and her responsibility to go to therapy or do whatever necessary to get her over that hump, right? Because there is no excuse. 3 weeks after she was violated, she started talking to Derrick Jaxn. So the issue of being violated was not resolved as of yet. You understand? So you heard her say that she literally was looking at the phone, watching Derrick Jaxn have pleasure, if you will, in college. Women, plural. We are talking about plurality, plural. Not one woman, many women. He known many women, like the Bible say, to know. Lord have mercy. Family, what do y'all guys think so far? Hold on, because we ain't finished. Get your popcorn ready. Because this one here might take about an hour, okay? This one here could possibly run over an hour. Are y'all still feeling sorry for her? Let's continue on, guys.
So that was soul crushing. At that time, this is well before we're married, but I've seen it multiple times, multiple girls, several. This is just in college. We're not talking even about marriage.
After that, we're going to get there in a little bit. We're going to talk about straight college. How did we get here?
So there was a lot of anger and bitterness, and I never once really confronted him about it. I always kind of like sat on it and just buried it. Mostly I feel like now I'm looking back on it, it was a fear of rejection and abandonment.
Because you felt like if you spoke up, he was going to leave.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I don't want him to leave me. Like, you know, so I have to just take this. But then at the same time, it was creating this deep-seated hatred and resentment and spitefulness.
Bad about it. People will find something, but then they won't do nothing about it.
Exactly.
Because they weren't prepared to leave.
And that was me.
You was like, I'm going to find it. I'm going to bust them. And then like, what you going to do? Because you're not going to even tell them that you busted them.
I did absolutely nothing. Sit there, cry. Okay, this is how, I'm going to get a little bit serious, right? Okay. I would seek and I would sit in closets and cry. And I would be in there wanting him to find me in the closet crying. And when he would come and find me in the closet crying, then I would say, you know, I'm just crying because I miss my dad. You know, I would blame it on something else. And they would always mostly be about my dad. Like, oh, I'm crying. But it's really because I just sat here and watched you have sex with, you know, or, you know, right? So.
No, the Naia, there ain't no real people name, is it going?
Guys, she even know the name. Now keep this on the frontal lobe up here. Keep this up in the front of your head, not the back. She even know the names of these people. She's spotting off the names. Right? This here was before marriage. Prior to. So in other words, she was walking into the marriage with her eyes wide open. She knew what she was getting herself into. That's why I can't co-sign. The only part that I feel a way about is when she was violated. That's the only part. But everything after that, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. She's sitting up in the closet, boo-hooing. And whenever that he come and try to check on her to see what's wrong with her, she would lie to him. Sound like two peas in the pot, don't it? Liar and liar. Derrick Jaxn lying. Naia lying. Interesting couple, right? You not gonna like me up after this.
I don't want you throwing people's name out here.
Okay. So we're just gonna keep on going.
We're gonna make fake names up. Okay.
We're gonna make fake. We're making all kinds of fake names up.
Okay. Thank you.
Right now. All fake. All fake names.
All fake names.
Okay. So
you'll watch him have sex with Sue.
Yeah, and Sue and Jane and Jade and Sheila. That's a fake name, right? I don't know.
That's a fake name. That's not a real person.
Seriously though, I would sit there and watch that, especially in college. I would literally sit in closets, or I would sit on the side of the dresser and be crying, and I would be there, and I would stay there in that space until he came back, from wherever he was, and he could find me, and then he can console me. But he didn't really know he was consoling me about his indiscretion as opposed to the lie that I told him. Right. And so all of that is toxic behavior. And I had to go back and really deal with that later on once I started to realize that, hey, Janae, you are not well. You are not okay, and really deal with why I was doing that and unpack it. So.
And so on again, off again, situationship, commitment, lack thereof, 9 years, you go through this. And you said right before y'all got married or got engaged, y'all wasn't even together. Please help me understand that.
Yeah. So before we moved to Atlanta, we were off. We got off because he was dealing with some girls and things like that. And it was a issue. And at that point, I was very hostile and all that towards him. Just like, I'm not going to deal with this. And you're F-boy and all these things, right? I had some different kind of choice words and language at that time. Mm-hmm. And then the Lord saved me, my mouth. Thank God for deliverance.
I think a lot of people give you a pass on whatever word you decide to use back then.
But no, at that time I had.
Oh, so the Lord saved her mouth, huh? Isn't this the same woman that she was on Instagram whenever everything hit the fan? She was on Instagram standing in defense of her lying husband, putting curses on people using the Bible itself, not the King James Version. Huh? She was using the Bible. She was placing curses on people, taking the Bible out of context, not interpretation, but interpolation. Look it up.
Every person speaking against the names Naia Jaxn and Derrick Jaxn in mockery, accusations, slanders, and lies, may the mercies of God be withdrawn from you. May your husbands and wives become widows. Let your children become fatherless. Let your seed become vagabonds on the earth. Let the words of your mouth and your words of your hands be returned back to you. Let it go down your throat and choke you slowly until your days become few on the earth. The word of God says, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. You've been warned. And if you want to know where that is at in the Bible, go to Psalm 109. Go to Psalm 35, go to Psalm 140, go to Psalm 141, and keep our names out of your mouth in the name of Jesus. Have a blessed day.
Simply meaning, I can take the Bible and cherry pick scriptures and take it out of context and make it fit a narrative. If you don't know how to use the Bible, that's how cults get started. That's how the Jim Jones don't drink the Kool-Aid family. That's how stuff like that gets started. Because I can take the Bible and say, well, I can have many wives. Huh? God almighty, no. I'm back, baby. I'm back. I can take the Bible and I can justify drinking to someone that don't know no better. Let me say that again, because that one is definitely worthy of a repeat. I can take that Bible to a person that is green. In other words, new. A newbie, a newborn, somebody that don't know no better. And I can take it and make the Bible sound as though drinking is okay. But a conjunction, yes, but a seasoned person like myself that have been in holiness for a very long time. Matter of fact, all of my life. And I'm talking about the tough teaching. I'm not talking about this watered down prosperity, TD Jakes type stuff. No. There is a place and a season for prosperity. Yes, all of that. I'm with all of it. But you have to have a balance. You understand? Family, I come from that stomp down holiness, like Geno Jennings, like that. So it's kind of hard to actually get over on me whenever it comes to the Bible. And we're not talking about no slave master teaching where they talking about obey your masters and all that stuff. You have to know the context. The Bible said that slavery is permitted, but the Bible also said treat him like a brother. You treat your slave like a brother. See, if you don't know the context, then you'll see the white man wrote the book talking about slave. You don't know what you're talking about. You see? But she knew what Derrick Jaxn was. Make no mistake about it. And I'm not going to make no bones about it. I don't feel sorry for her because she knew what he was. And she could have got help for her situation. So you can't blame it on, well, I was violated. Yes, you was violated, sweetie. Go get help. I had abandonment issues. The world don't owe you anything. The world don't owe you no understanding. And this is what women have to understand. Nobody cares if I grew up without a father when I am out here committing crime and doing all sorts of unseemly things. And then I get locked up for 20 years. The first thing they'll say is he had no business doing that. That's how they treat men, right? Lock him up, throw away the key. That's how they treat men. Oh, he can't pay child support? Lock him up. Oh, take his license. Take his passport. That's how they treat the men. You could literally be in jail for 2 or 3 months on back child support. You get out, you 3 months behind, you haven't been working, they'll come back to get you if you don't hurry up and pay. That's how they treat the men. People don't care why. People are looking at the results. Now, granted, like how I said, I can't empathize with her. But if you know that's a problem, and she said that she knew it was a problem, but she did nothing about it until her latter years. All right?
I asked him, I was like, do you believe the things that you're saying, right? Because this is at the beginning of his career really like taking off. And I'm like, do you believe the things that you're saying? And it really caused a rift. And so we were off. And so that time that we were off, we were still messing
because
around.
You questioned whether or not he believed that what he was sharing with the masses on avoiding F-boys and that type of stuff. Y'all fell out because you asked him if he truly believed what he was saying?
I asked him that, yes. It was a big thing and we did fall out. Along with the fact that there was actually other girls at the time. And so it was just all too much. And so we end up ending that. And then we both end up moving to Atlanta, right? From there.
How y'all keep moving to the same place?
Soul tie. Listen, people underestimate the power of a soul tie.
Yep.
And it's a soul tie. And I had no idea what that was at the time, and neither did he, right? And so
it was like, who would move there first? Did you find yourself following after him? Or
no. So we had actually planned to move there prior to, because we were living in Raleigh, North Carolina at the time. We had already planned to move there, but there was so much. I had we moved to Atlanta, and we had already had that in the works. I had already transferred jobs. We just hadn't made the move yet. So it was just,
y'all gonna move together at first.
Right.
Even though y'all not in a committed, we're gonna use that word loosely again. Were y'all in the...
We were in technically a committed relationship when we were in Raleigh, North Carolina, living together.
When y'all was making the plan to move together.
Right. When we were making the plan to move together, we were moving together like as a unit.
As a couple.
But we ended up falling out before then. And so while the plans were still on to move, I had already transferred jobs. You know, he already had whatever he had going on. And so made the move. My mom came down and she helped me drive down to Atlanta. I had my own little space. Anyway, we were still engaging sexually, even though we were off, right? And so it was in this time where there was a lineup of us. We were passing each other on the stairway in and out.
No, y'all wasn't.
No, y'all
was not passing
you think this is a game.
You were not passing each other on the stairway.
We were passing each other on the stairway. Like, this is my shift from this time to this time. So, you know, I was a willing participant in that. And this is like, I can laugh about it now, but it's really sad, you know, like, what space do you have to be in to accept that? And so I dealt with it already, so I could laugh about it now. And it's funny, but it's like, right?
You look back at your old self and laugh.
I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, no, seriously. It was, you know, I'm coming over at this time. I know such and such is going to be rolling through about, you know, an hour and a half later. Yeah. And sometimes we went a little bit longer. So literally passing each other on the stairs, like out the door. All right, have fun, you know, your shift, you know, and literally. And so there was a lot of people involved at that time. We weren't in a relationship. So all the people that like committed relationships. So I was just on the rotation at the time, and I ended up getting pregnant with our first child. And it was in that I was like, okay, Naia, you got to figure out what you're doing with your life.
Did she that say a mouthful of guys? My God. She was in the rotation. She was passing her in the hallway, the stairwells. They was meeting each other. Derrick Jaxn. He was knocking them down, huh? My God. Like Solomon. Like Solomon in the Bible. Oh, Lord. Forgive me, y'all. Forgive me for that. God, he was knocking them down. And you notice that she said that she was a willing participant. Uh-huh. You still feeling sorry for her? I said, is you still feeling sorry for her? This here was prior to marrying the guy. Don't y'all be in my comment section, because I will block every last one of you fools. Every last one of them. You heard what she said. Not my words, her words. Prior to marriage, all of this was going on. Then she ended up pregnant by the guy. Watching sex videos on the phone of her man with other women. See what it is, guys. And I am going to submit this to the family. Derrick Jaxn knew that he had a woman that wouldn't go nowhere, basically. Let me say that again. Derrick Jaxn knew he was the best thing she ever had, and she wasn't going to go nowhere. See, she was the little smart, quiet chick in school, the dark, pimples on her face, but she was cute, right? She never had a guy like Derrick Jaxn, a jock. So it literally blew her mind.
Yeah. And so you're 28 years old. And then, so now, how long did it take from will you marry me to I do?
It was right at a year. So we got married January 13th, 2018. And that was a long year before marriage. There's a lot of stuff that went on in there. We tried some marital counseling. We did not finish that. There was, you know.
You said premarital counseling?
Premarital counseling.
Y'all didn't finish our premarital counseling?
No.
Why not?
There was a lot of issues that arose. So as we were doing the counseling, I started to come out with a lot of the hurt that I was hiding from college days. I started to come out with that and how it made me feel. And it was a lot, I think, for him to handle all of that.
Like, oh my God, how do you know all this stuff?
Right. How do you know? Right. How did you know? But then also like, why are you just now telling me about this? And you still here? Right. Like, you know, I let you still. Right. And so it was a lot for me to just like be like, and you did this and you did that. And I feel like I did do a lot of shame and blaming in communicating all the things I had been holding on to. So it was a lot for him to handle in that time. But anyway, it was all of that. He was like, I'm not doing this anymore. So we never finished. And then, and then here we go in the marriage. So,
so you said, he said, I'm not going to finish marriage counseling, but we're going to continue going on with the wedding.
It was looking a little bleak at first, right? Because at that time I went back to the gym and started working out. And then I had a male trainer. And so then at the time that we're going through
this man stopped premarital counseling. And she's still yet. She walked in with her eyes wide open, guys. Guys, do anybody disagree? Put it in the comment section. Whatever part you disagree with, put the timestamp down and state your case. This is why I need to start going live. God, but I can actually interact with the people. 3 abortions. Got pregnant prior to getting married. The guy cheating throughout the whole 9 years of y'all dating in college and after college. Derrick Jaxn got women coming in and out like the Soul Train line. You know, they just bobble and just come on now. And after all that, she still said, I do. I ain't saying nothing. Lord have mercy.
Yes. All of the above. Now, I was so excited to be getting married. And again, my mentality at that time was more like, I'm getting married. Everything is like my dream wedding. And I won. And so everything is falling into place. The only agitation I had was because I was pregnant and I was hungry. And you know, the wedding timeline sometimes, you be hungry. And I'm like, I'm pregnant. I'm actually 6 months pregnant at this point.
You were 6 months?
6. And nobody could really tell. Like people were like, are she pregnant or is she not pregnant? Like that's how it was.
6 months.
6 months. So I wasn't necessarily showing as much as I could have. After that, though, I was like, people were like, what happened?
You got your honeymoon, boy. Right. Y'all was lit. Right. I don't know what y'all did on y'all honeymoon.
Right. And so that day, though, it was great. Like, it was like everything was coming into place. Outside of course, like I said, being hungry, and then with a little bit of agitation because he had already been pre-gaming with having a couple of drinks with his friends, the best man. So I was upset first off because I can't drink and I could taste the alcohol in your breath. You
may now kiss the bride. You like, God, it tastes like Jack Daniels.
Right, exactly. That's the first thing I said. I was like, you've been drinking, and pregnant women, they like have a sensitivity to every like smell and taste. And like, is that what year is that? And so,
oh God.
But no, it was great. It was everything that I could have dreamed of in that moment.
So after that, was everything going great for a period of time? Was there a period of time of wedded bliss? Don't define what wedded bliss is. Okay, no, we're not going to do that then. So wedded bliss. Was it happy? Was it like, oh, he stopped. I'm not threatened by other women that he's bringing into the relationship.
No.
We're good. He's thriving. He's doing these car videos and he's thriving, inspiring millions of women across the world. And he's treating me the same way as what he's telling other women to accept treatment as. He's honoring me as his queen. I'm his wife and he's treating me accordingly.
Okay. So no. No, it was not. And I wish it had been. But so after that, we went on our honeymoon. That was great. Even at the honeymoon, it was like he was on his phone a lot. And so, I felt some type of way about that, but I whatever, he has to work because, look at the life I'm living, I got caught up in like, oh, I never experienced anything like this before.
Explain what that, because people don't understand what you mean by that life. What life are you living?
Okay, so there is a life of glam and riches and fame. Like when you have some status, it comes with stuff. Mm-hmm. It comes with access to stuff. It comes with like this extra treatment. It comes with money. I had not experienced any type of level of that. And I'm like, I've been all them Disney movies paying off. I'm living the life of the rich and famous. Look at him. He's fine. And he's doing this. And I get to stay at home. And like, I was a whole Atlanta housewife without being on the show. Right? Whole out here. And so.
Whole Atlanta house.
As you can see, guys, she said she was 6 months pregnant at the time. That was her second child. Because she had her first child already. Go back and watch the full video. It will be in the description box down below. All right. The interviewer asked her, was it ever a time? Listen, was it ever a time when everything was fine, everything leveled out, and everything was great? She looked at him, says no. Do anybody still feel sorry for her? I'm just asking the question. I don't. Because she was standing in defense of this devil, basically. Putting curses on people with the Bible, doing all of this stuff. And now that he left, now she want to talk a little bit, which is fine. But she knew. And let me submit this to the family. Derrick Jaxn, in my humble opinion, was a slime ball, yes. But he wasn't doing nothing that he wasn't already doing. That, guys, is tantamount to a woman that was dancing whenever that I first met her. And whenever I say dance, I'm talking about pole dance, a stripper, if you will, right? And she was doing that throughout the whole time we was dating. So I choose to marry this woman, right? And she continued to dance. Why would people feel sorry for me? Oh, because I just didn't want her to leave me because I have abandonment issues. Everybody would call me a fool. Derrick didn't pull the wool over her eyes. She knew exactly what Derrick Jaxn was prior to marrying him. 9 years of it. Ups and downs. A tumultuous relationship. She have been battle tested. That's why Derrick married her. That's why Derrick Jaxn married her. Because he knew she wasn't going to go no way. Derrick left her, right? She wasn't going to leave no Derrick Jaxn. For what? And go where? With 3 to 4 kids. It's one thing that I can say about her. She was definitely for Derrick Jaxn. She was a rider to the end. Now, that's one thing that I can say about her. She was true to the game. But Derrick Jaxn got a little too messy. And a lot of guys would love to be in Derrick Jaxn's position, to where you can have a wife at home and she ain't going nowhere, and you can just have your cake and eat it too. Me personally, that's not my stilo. One man, one woman. I don't want a whole harem of women. For what? Because I can barely handle one. The family. With that being said, put your thoughts in the comment section down below, all right? Because I would love to get y'all take on this. And until next time, peace. And remember, there is more.